you know, essentially this time of year you have to you know, take a little bit off here and there, but still be, you know, intense and tough and hit and tackle, but stay healthy.
Coming back here to Andrew Greif.
Third downs, yesterday I think 11 of 18, and this year you're above 50%, top 10, I believe, in the country. Last year it was something about 44%. Is there any big things you can pin that on, or why it's just been a little more efficient this year?
Not really. I wish I had, you know, we have a great quarterback and a bunch of guys that are surrounding him making plays. We've been better on first and second down, and that's, you know, being great. There's a, you know, a few stats in football that you know, that have to do with like kind of your ratio of number of third downs compared to everything else, and that's where you're really good when you're never in third down. You know, first and second down are so good, but converting third downs, being, you know, having the confidence to play fast and free on third down, knowing we might go for it on fourth down, I think helps our guys a little bit, but nothing special except for Marcus.
Speaking of Marcus, you said they have a pretty good quarterback. In the spring, you said you kind of asked him to do 3 things differently: some footwork, improve there, holding on to the ball, and then just being a leader. Can you assess halfway through the season kind of how he is in those 3 areas? He's
been his leadership has been unbelievable. I mean, the guy's a special guy in every phase, and that element of his personality has developed so much. It's night and day. He's always been a powerful leader, but it's totally changed as far as how much volume has, you know, come out of his mouth, and so that's been really neat to see develop, and I'm sure you guys have noted that as well. And then his footwork is you know, really good within our system, and then what was that? Oh yeah, as far as you know, his ball carriage and all those things, there's some things that he can do better still. You know, we've had 3 times where you know, the ball's been out due to that. Again, you know, is that his quote-unquote fault? Not necessarily, but he can, you know, he can do it better, and is committed to working on that still.
So going back to Kenny Bassett, he saw a season-high 6 carries. I'm pretty sure he had 5 carries on the season going into the game. Should he now be considered part of the rotation? Because I thought he looked great out there.
You know, Kenny's one of the guys that's been fantastic on special teams. I don't know if if you notice on our kickoff coverage team that basically Charles Nelson now is either held or double teamed every time he runs down the field, leading the charge, and then Kenny Bassett has been leading the bunch these last couple of weeks. The guy is just he's a great team guy, unbelievable special teams player, knows multiple positions offensively, and has definitely, you know, earned what you said exactly, some consideration for, you know, future relevance, and so we'll see where that goes. How about that, consideration for future relevance? It's like my dating career.
Warren over here.
Mark, back to Marcus. He's on another run, like last year. I think more than 300 pass attempts without an interception. He's over 200 and I think 30 now without an interception. Being a former quarterback, do you just marvel at that, at those numbers? And what is it that he, I guess maybe, is he doing? Is he seeing receivers better, or what is it about him that he finds these open receivers? And
well, Warren, thanks for guaranteeing a pick in the next game. This is like the no-hitter, right? You don't talk about this kind of stuff, but it's all those things. You know, all those things. Last night we got lucky. You know, lucky. They dropped one. We've had a couple times where the ball's been tipped, and you know, that happens. But his accuracy, his timing, the time of the release to the ball placement, to all just the awareness are things that mystify us all the time. He is so good at that, and those things, you know, sometimes, and that happened. You know, I always said when Marcus was a redshirt freshman, his ability to play at his speed, be on time, be perfect, and throw a pick, but then still play fast, that was really rare, and he's continued to do that. You know, if a receiver was on the wrong angle or 2 steps out, you know, whatever it was, and he was in the right place, a lot of times young quarterbacks, they blame that on themselves, and then eventually they play slower or make a poor decision later based on what somebody else did, and that's a hard thing to not do, and it's an impossible thing to teach virtually, and so that has always been an amazing thing, and we sure like that streak.
You just follow
Something that I definitely never had.
How much of his receivers helped him though? I mean, you get
A ton.
pretty good production out of Carrington last night.
A ton, yeah.
Same-
Carrington, Dwayne, Farrell made a couple great grabs. Farrell's a 6'7" dude with a long wingspan and can really go up and get it. Darren and Dwayne, they'll certainly tell you about it, that they have unbelievable range, and so that has helped a ton. And just while we're on that note, Dwayne and Darren were kind of our honorable mention players of the week offensively. Royce Freeman ended up being our offensive player of the week. Bronson Yim was our scout team player of the week, doing a great job with that secondary. Defensively, Derek Malone was our player of the game, and Jalen Brown, another young receiver who's having a fantastic season for us behind the scenes, was our scout player of the week for the defensive prep. Matt Wogan, his last 15 kicks now have been in the end zone, was our special teams player of the week, and Lane Roseberry was our scout team special teams player of the week.
Are there any more questions on those on the phone?
Matt Wogan, Mark, I think he pulled one, of course he made one later, but he pulled one earlier. Looks like the Huskies were basically trying to block every kick. Did he shy away from that because of the guy rushing him, and is that a concern? Just his focus on field goals?
Well, again, that's an 11-person operation. We had some protection issues. We had a couple alignment issues. PAT field goal it's one of those things. It's a simple mechanic that you just have to commit yourself to align correctly, step correctly, be big, and have pad level. And we didn't do all those things. Part of that was part of that blame could be spread around to a lot of places.
Any unbeaten teams, is this kind of a surprise to you?
Not really. I mean, it is tough. College football is that it's so exciting as a fan, or to for you guys to follow it the way you do, has to be unbelievably endlessly entertaining. And then I was joking with one of our recruits and his family that was here this week, and we're sitting there walking by, and the kid had told me that he wanted to be a coach, and so my first reaction is, well, let's hockey out of that. And then we walk out and we see the end of the Oklahoma game when the guy misses the field goal, and I'm like, that's why right there, and that's something that is endlessly entertaining and provides a lot of stuff for a lot of people, but it's a really good job, and so it's a combination of both those things. He played really well when he came in against UCLA, and we were trying to work him in there this week at guard. He's practiced there. I think that's again something that Coach Wood does a great job of training those guys all over the place, as far as fall camp and throughout the season. And so he's a guy that we don't hesitate at all to put him in there.
Is that it? Thank you.
Thanks,